Hey guys, Prules here, and today I'm going to be showcasing a little bit of Medal of Honor 2010. And as a lot of us probably know, the new Medal of Honor game, Warfighter, is just around the corner. I think it's coming out later this month, and there's a beta coming out pretty soon as well, but it's Xbox exclusive, unfortunately for a lot of us. But I'm going to try and give you guys a general overview of the way this game works, so you guys kind of have an idea of maybe what to expect in the next game. And the reason why I don't actually want to go into too much detail is because it seems like Medal of Honor Warfighter is going to be pretty different from Medal of Honor 2010. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. So there are three classes in this game. We've got the Rifleman, Special Ops, and Sniper. Now, because I'm playing the Recon class first here in the video, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of info on them. And it's not something too out of the ordinary. I mean, what they do is they specialize in longer range encounters, where they use high-powered bolt-action and semi-automatic sniper rifles. So if you guys are familiar with those from other shooters, then you're going to be pretty familiar with how they work. Now, for the guys who haven't played this game, you'll probably ask what the hell these binoculars are that I'm constantly pulling up, and that is a function of the kill streaks. And in this game, they're actually called score chains, to be more specific. Now, the reason why I think score chains are so much cooler than kill streaks is because every one of your actions goes towards your pool of points for this score chain. So what that means is you can be doing stuff like objectives for your team and kill assists, and even those will go towards these actions that can be performed at different increments of the points. So here I've got a screenshot pulled up of the two different kinds of rewards you can choose for your kill streak. What I think is really cool about this game is that you can choose between using an offensive ability or a support ability, which will do something to help your entire team out. Now, an example of that would be the UAV, which is awarded at 50 points, and unless I think I can get like 2 or 3 kills with the mortar, which is extremely unlikely, I will always get the UAV just because it will help you get, it'll guarantee you security and also kills for your entire team. And in pretty much every game type, it's important to know where your enemies are at, because a lot of this game is based on positioning and stuff, but I'll talk more about that later. Right now I'm playing the Special Ops class, which very similarly to Engineers and Battlefield, they're given carbines as well as RPGs. And RPGs are not just for using against vehicles in this game. They're extremely quick and precise, and they can really be used as these tools against infantry. So this kind of gives Engineers a bit of a long-range option, because their carbines don't have an awful amount of long-range capabilities. But in regards to the guns and stuff that this game has, the process for getting attachments is pretty easy. I mean, you'll get them just by using the classes. You'll get 3 different slots to choose from, which you'll probably be really used to, and that is the optics slot, the barrel slot, and you can also get different kinds of ammunition. Now, you can choose to keep the standard ammo and have, no alterations to your firing power, or you can use these special rounds called hollow point ammunition, and what that does is it increases your stopping power, but they do balance this out by giving it a drawback of having 1 less magazine than you would having standard rounds. And on top of that, once you rank up a little bit, you will have the option to have an extra magazine on you. So by choosing hollow points, you end up actually losing out on 2 extra magazines, and that's probably more important than you would think. Now, it should be worth mentioning that this game has ammo crates throughout all the maps, regardless of game mode. And so this kind of makes it so you're not just running out of ammo and relying on picking up an enemy kit once you're completely dry. But I mean, there will be situations where you are out of ammo, and an ammo crate won't be totally easy to get to, because this game you're extremely vulnerable all the time. Running out in the open is just a really terrible idea, and this kind of segues us to the next clip, where you'll see I'm always worrying about my positioning. Because of the nature of the maps, a lot of this is about finding key locations where you can really exploit your enemy's vulnerabilities. This is especially important because most of these maps, if not all of them, have multiple stories to them. A lot of these buildings, you can go up to the second floor and rain down on your enemies. So when you take into account that at any second you can be hit by an enemy offensive score chain, you know, being out in the open suddenly becomes this big risk you're taking, more so than really in any other game, because the time to kill is already pretty short. The weapons are extremely accurate and easy to handle, which is something I personally like. It makes the game more about tactics than actual weapon control. I think that leaves more room for replayability. So you'll notice that I'm using the M16 here, and this is my absolute favorite gun in the game. This is available to the Assault class, which the big thing with this class is obviously having the underslung grenade launcher. Another important characteristic of this class is that they have smoke grenades, and unfortunately you only start out having one, and by the time you've maxed out the class you do get two, but these are replenished by going to the ammo crates. And this is an important thing to do constantly, and I'm definitely guilty of not using smoke grenades more. I say guilty there, and that's because, you know, it plays off the whole thing I was just saying about being in the open and how having something to screen yourself from damage is just extremely important in this game, and getting yourself to the next point, because you'll see I'm eyeballing Sector Bravo pretty much the entire time I'm, you know, playing in this particular clip. And now that I feel comfortable enough to move up with a couple of my guys, I think I'm criticizing myself a little bit, because I could have put a smoke grenade up and that would have made it a lot safer from us. I mean, you see that one guy that I just killed, he kind of comes out of the side there, and that put us all at risk. But now we're finally at the top of this building and we're controlling the sector. And when it comes to games where there's conquest type modes or stuff with sectors, I always feel pretty obligated to defend, which is something that, I don't know, in this game I really enjoy doing it, because I'll live longer, I'll get more score chain activations, and that just helps out your entire team. Because one of the justifications for being greedy in this game, if you ask me, is that getting score chains means you're either helping your team, or if you choose the offensive ones, you're knocking enemies out of play. And the reason why that's so important is because you may have just killed a guy with your kill streak, and he could have had a kill streak that was significantly more powerful, and he would have taken out more of your guys. So there's this kind of whole domino effect that happens with, I would say, any game that has a kill streak, really. So if you're the kind of guy that likes to play more of a lone wolf playstyle, you're going to like this game a lot because of the score chains and, you know, launching these really fast and just ruthless missiles at your enemies. And if you're more of a team player, you can, you know, constantly be giving your team bonuses to their, for example, you've got this one thing called Flak Vests, which I believe they give your entire team more resistant to explosive damage, and so immediately your team is becoming more resistant towards enemy grenades, enemy rocket launchers, C4, the enemy score chains, which are constantly going to be flung against you. So there's a pretty big emphasis on these score chains, and I think this game does it just right. I mean, when I'm playing Call of Duty, I just feel like I can go off completely on my own and dominate the other team. But here, it's really great because your teammates can help you out with their score chains and vice versa. So I think this is a really cool game. It's at the core pretty much a hybrid between Battlefield and Call of Duty. So if you guys enjoy either one of those games, I would definitely recommend checking this game out because it might be your cup of tea. If you guys haven't already looked into Warfighter a little bit, I would definitely do so. It's going to be a change of pace from the current Modern Combat games that are out there. If the game's any good, I'm going to be uploading footage on that. I'm going to be playing probably from the first night. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Medal of Honor 2010 is only like $20 on Origin if you have some cash and you want to check it out before Warfighter is released. It'd be really great if you guys could like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll be sure to respond. Until next time, guys.